Chapter 67. Back in 2011, I dated my first love for 7 years. Let's call him Tati. We dated throughout high school and continued afterwards. My family decided to move to Australia in 2018, and because of distance and work, we decided to end things. Keep in mind, he is all I ever wanted in a man, and every guy I got with since, I have always compared them to him. Back in high school, I had a very good friend. Let's call her Sifi. Sifi would always tell me to leave him and that I am way out of his league. He was never good enough for me and I deserved better. I never listened, of course, but I always found it weird that Sifi had so much hate towards him because Sifi wants him. Fast forward after 2 years of no contact and breakup, one of my mates sent me a screenshot of Sifi's new Facebook profile, and it was a photo of her and Teti. My heart literally dropped. Listen, every time someone uses the nickname Teti, I automatically think it's Victor. Now I'm picturing him in your story. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and even though it was 2 years already, I still haven't healed or even moved on. It all hit me, and that's when I told myself it was time to let go and move on. 3 years has passed since I found out and totally forgot about it. Beginning of 2023, I flew back to NZ for my brother's wedding. I was in the bridesmaid line, and I also haven't met my sister-in-law in person. Come the night of rehearsal, I finally got to meet and see the rest of the girls who were in the line. Tell me why I was helping set up, and my sister-in-law points to the door opening showing her maid of honor. I couldn't see her properly because she was all the way down the aisle, and 10 feet away from me, I realized it was Sifi. I froze and continued to act normal since my sister-in-law was so excited for us to meet. We introduced ourselves like we were strangers, and I couldn't help but want to cry because of all the different emotions I was feeling. Fucking you, Sifi wanted your man. That same night, we had a party over at my cousin's house, and everyone brought their partners and plus ones. I didn't want to go, but everyone was telling me to come. I got to the party a little late, and everyone was already there. I got in and didn't want to look at anyone and went straight to the kitchen. I got myself a drink and went to the lounge. I sat down, and right across from me was my first love of 7 years, Tati. The feelings and emotions I was telling myself it was gone all came back and hit me. He still looked like the same guy from when I last kissed him goodbye, and he looks more mature and definitely gone taller. I see right next to him was Sifi, hugging his hand trying to make out with him, but all I could see was him staring at me. I tried looking away and act like I didn't see him, but I couldn't deny the tension that was in the room. It all got too much and I could feel myself about to cry, so I got up and left to go to the back. I tried finding a room so I can lock myself away and sleep, but before I could do that, someone grabbed my hand and pulled me. It was Tati. He was right there, right in front of me. His face was so close, our lips were nearly kissing. I see his eyes get teary, and the next thing you know, we did the bad thing. Oh, Sifi, shame. He was sliding his hand down my punani and pulled my benty down while making out with me. When we did the bad things, he kept saying how much he's missed me, and the kama was crying. We finished our first round and got to talking about our memories and how we lost our V cards to each other, then continued with 5 more rounds after that. Okay, sis. He had no regrets after that night and told Sifi he doesn't want to be with her anymore. Sifi cut my bridesmaid's dress, and I almost couldn't be a part of my brother's wedding, but luckily my sister-in-law didn't want any negative energy on her special day, and she told Sifi to not attend because she was plotting something to do on the day. I got made last minute her maid of honor, and that is the story. I am now with Tati and have solved everything with Sifi, but cut all contacts with her. Wow, that was actually a beautiful story. Next one. Back in 2016, I was seeing this guy who I didn't realize had effed up sexual fantasies and desires. I was packing my bags as I was going off on my mission the next week. Yes, I'm Mormon. Girl. When I invited him over to keep me company, he kept showing me pictures of hoes who didn't look like me, but was telling me I look like them and what bad things he would do to them. I was insecure and weirded out at the same time. As I kept packing, he hugged me from behind and tried folding me in half, which my big back locked up and didn't move the way he wanted me to. Nah, sorry. Sorry. I shouldn't be laughing at these stories. Gaffs. Instead, I turned around quickly to say, "What the F?" But he choked me and began aggressively kissing me, then threw me on the bed. I really didn't want to do anything with him. He kept trying to take my panty off, but I refused to give in. So I gripped onto them while kicking, saying no and to stop. "The fuck is wrong with you?" Huh? He gripped onto my panty hard by each side of my waist and held my visors down, looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Stop resisting." I lost my V card to him. Oh my God. I was traumatized that I didn't say anything to anyone, even after my homecoming. I moved countries, and one of the wards I went to found out I was a return missionary. I was put off with that title because I thought of myself as dirty already. There was a man who we'll call Raisin, who was a family friend that went to the same ward. He tried to give me a calling, which I refused, and said I'd rather see a bishop first. Raisin messaged me later that day and asked whether the things I wanted to confess were sexual matters and that I could always talk to him. He invited me out to some place and we chilled talking smack and reminiscing old days. After a while, he asked me if I was any good at giving the sucky sucky or with my hand. What? I replied nothing. I was too blindsided by what he said. Then he begged me to give him hand exercise and that it was okay to touch and he thought I was hot. What the hell is wrong with you boys that do this? Did you have like a traumatized upbringing to be speaking and treating women like this? Who the fuck even asked that question? Mind you, sis, he's married and has a family of 3. His wife had just birthed a newborn at that time. I kept refusing, saying no, and when I was getting up to leave, he grabbed me and pulled me close to him. Then he started kissing me and grabbed my hand and put it in his ofuwai. I gave in because of how strong he was. Okay, but do you not know how to yell? Oh my God. We ended up doing the bad things. When I left, I blocked him and I called my best friend back home, saying I was a home wrecker because I didn't stand up for myself. I stopped going to church for ages until I moved areas. To this day, he finds a way to contact me to meet up. I'm still holding on to these screenshots, frustrated. I want to out him to his wife so bad, but I can't bear the family warfares it'll bring to everyone, especially the children. P.S. I recently found out that Raisin and I are related. Oh, the Holy Trinity. You most definitely need to tell his wife. Nothing will change if nothing is said.